Hello everybody, this is Miranda the Hybrid, my room and my hair is a mess, and welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. Now today is a little bit different than usual. I had a very good lesson on Art School Sunday, and I just wanted to recap it so everybody can learn it right now. So I'm going to edit it together so you can watch it and learn how to render metal. Let's go! So we're gonna do the classic rendering thing where, okay, first of all, when you render something, please put it on a gray background. So as per usual, one of the best ways to render is by drawing a sphere. So we're gonna be starting with a sphere. Now, different materials have different amounts of reflectivity. So we're gonna put our light source coming from this direction. First of all, your highlights for metal are going to be super duper bright. So put that in there immediately, and immediately that makes your object feel like it's extremely reflective. I'm going to work with the shadows quickly. Yeah, I'm going to put in the shadow that this ball would be casting down here. And this will be important actually, because the thing about metal is that it's really reflective. It reflects everything around it. And so I'm going to take some of the white from our light source, come here you, and I'm going to softly, if I can find the right brush for this, I'm going to softly put a little bit of the light falling from behind. We got a very sloppy shadow. This is like A+ level shadow here. Don't tell anybody. I'm going to grab my old brush. And so imagine this is steel. First of all, steel has a kind of tint to it. Metals sometimes have color. Steel tends to have a slightly bluish tint, and I'm going to start with the steel's mid-tone. Let's just put it in like this. This looks like brand new, clean stainless steel. That's kind of what I'm going for in this situation. And that tint doesn't, it's almost like you're just adding that color ever so slightly to whatever reflectivity colors you're working with. So there we go. We got that. And so the other thing, okay, we want to drop down really dark, and you're going to have your shadow coming along the bottom like this. So you're going to have a pretty bright point right over here. Yeah, I'd be doing a very gentle highlight and then kind of working it in nice and smoothly like that. So that's what a soft kind of material would look like. But metal reflects almost 100% of the light that hits on it. So you're looking at like a literal mathematical equation here. So 100% reflectivity. So it's going to really reflect that brightest point. And then you might have some scratches that will be catching back and forth. So let's just imagine that this ball has some scratches on it. So you also want to put that light in for the scratches that it's catching. And you can even go in and you can put in a tiny low light running along here. That actually really pushes the idea that there's a scratch running along the surfaces if there's a dark line on top. Kind of like that. So congratulations, you've put some scratches into your metal. It looks like metal. It has a very high point of reflectivity. What about the bottom here? If the metal is reflecting so brightly off the top, then you'd think that there'd be some reflections on the bottom too, and you'd be right. What you need to do is basically just grab that color and put it in everywhere. Just look at what's surrounding your ball, essentially. This color is going to be reflecting over here. This color is dark. It's kind of going to be reflecting over here, but mixing with the shadow color. You're going to have the general background color going whoa like that, but then even more so there's going to be this, there's bright over here too, so you need to essentially flip over in reverse, because a mirror reverses whatever it looks at, so you need to flip over what's happening in order of the dark and light. So the dark is going to be close over here, and then the bright is going to be hitting along the inner edge, and then you get the super dark of the shading. So let me show you what that looks like. So that's how I approach drawing metal. That's only one way. You're probably not going to be drawing direct spheres for your robot, so let's draw a tube. So let's color in the base color for this gold, and let's start on our highlights and lowlights. So immediate bright highlights, I like dropping this to a really warm kind of color. We're going to imagine the highlights happening basically directly over it. So running it along the top like that. And then we need to work in some lowlights. So to grab that color, I'm going to drop it, based on the background, we have a neutral tone background, so I'm just going to drop it right about there. I'm going to lower my opacity, and just like here, you see how we have this darker thing happening? Come on, Control Z for me, baby. We're going to be running that shadow down by the bottom and slowly picking it up as it comes to the top. Not like a super duper gradient. See how I left a lot of different levels in there? Metal usually isn't a smooth gradient since it reflects everything around it. It's more like a shiny colored mirror. And now we need to look at our background. Like before, we're going to create a shadow to fall on the background around this this shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to darken this one more level right over here, and I'm going to drive that dark one more level over here. So whenever you have metal, your darkest point is not on the opposite side of your shape. It's actually on the line running adjacent, right next to the darkest line on the shape. We want to take this light color and reflect it onto the bottom of the gold. The thing is, gold, since it's an extreme, it's more of an extreme colored metal, since it's very yellowish, is going to take that color and tone it yellow. So we've picked up this particular tone, but now we want to go into our yellow area and give it, try to come up with an in-between basically that looks correct. So let's see if this one looks correct. So I think this works pretty well, right along the edge like that. And now I'm going to pick up this color right over here, and I'm just going to make a highlight along the ridge, and then you can let it fall down. And I'm doing that just to accentuate the shape of the circle, just to make sure people know it's a sphere. And then I'm going to take this and drop it one more and make it a little bit darker on top. Because there will be light reflecting, surprisingly, from this area and coming upwards, so you kind of want to make sure that that's visible. And so that's kind of metal from the side. Now, I was talking about reflection points earlier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some blue lines on the ground, and then we're going to replicate them and see how they would be curving on this. So first of all, you have to look at how these two colors will mix together. It's going to be in the kind of greenish range. So this line over here is the one we want to concentrate on first. It's almost going to like go whoom like that. And this one's going to do the same thing, whoom, kind of like that. Whoom. And then you're going to get this, you know, the lines. Those, the first line's probably going to be somewhere around here. And it's going to be extremely faint because of the very, 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 very strong tilt, and then lighter and lighter, and then it'll just disappear into, because eventually what happens is when you're looking at the way this is reflecting off and on, this is going to be like this closest point reflects over here, right? This one is all the way over here and bouncing off that way. Let's make some rays. Let's make some light rays, because you're looking at the surface of the cylinder itself like this. Light ray comes this way, it's going to reflect off, just like that. If a light ray came like this, it would reflect like that. It's basically the surface angle. What surface angle is it hitting off of, and how is it reflecting? So that one's reflecting over here. This point is reflecting over here and coming up this way. And you see, as more and more of them reflect, they're going further and further away, which is why it's disappearing into perspective. That's why it's curving away from you. You can't see it anymore. So that's how light rays work, and that's why we can't see these anymore. This looks crazy. This looks really cool. And that is a really quick guide on how to render metal. Obviously we could go into the nuances, the details of it, but just as basics go, that's how you do it. I'm also hearing from a lot of people that you want to learn the basics of composition and maybe improve your backgrounds, so that's going to be this week's Art Talk Thursday. Tips to improve your composition and backgrounds. Until then, I will see you guys. Make sure to drink your beverage of choice, get your sleep, get some exercise. I exercised today. I feel amazing. Believe in yourself, because that's how you get to go places, and chase your dreams. That's how to activate it. I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye-bye.